Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Jennn O'Clock News. Bear with me just a second and I will show myself. We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on. It is indeed Jennn O'Clock. Where am I? I've lost myself. Here I am. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Jennn O'Clock News. This is the second edition here on YouTube. I'm super working on consistency because the algorithm's acting like it don't know me anymore. It's looking at me like, who? You? Like, like Kiki Palmer, like looking at a picture of Dick Cheney. That's how much the algorithm doesn't know me right now. So do me a favor, hit that like, share the stream, and do all that stuff to help pick me back up in the algorithms. If you're not familiar with the Jennn O'Clock News, it's a super cool show. Why aren't you familiar? It's okay. It's okay. I will not hold it against you for too long. I don't hold grudges really. But yeah, it's all the latest news in battle rap, sometimes in hip hop. I've got a ton of news today. I'm not sure how much of the hip hop news I'm going to get to. I'm going to leave it until the end. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. The upcoming Max Out card, the matchups on it, the relationship between URL, RBE, the battlers and where they land and who's not going where and what's happening next and what might get blocked. Is a lot. We've also got, I've got to have my notes here. I am running on empty. So if you see me looking super confused, it's probably because I've lost my notes and I don't know what I'm supposed to be talking about. So bear with me. But yes, we are talking about yet again, one of these characters who raises hopes and heartbeats when he at the prospect of his return. His face is on the damn thumbnail. You know who I'm talking about. Brizz Rawstein. Can we believe a comeback? Is it ever gonna happen? Will we see it? We'll have to see. He's addressing the Mook battle. We'll talk about it. It's something specific kind of made him think about dipping his toe back in this time. So we will talk about that. We'll talk about the gift that keeps on giving, a Verb versus a Ward. Verb is going to expose Peggy, Mrs. Ward. Mama Ward is getting exposed, apparently. We're going to talk about that. And we got a lot of stuff in the general news as well. Some Hitman stuff, some Sue Surf stuff. I think Miss Hustle's in there. We'll get straight into the topics. But yeah, if you haven't hit the like already, wow, 4 minutes in and 4 people. If we can double that rate, that would be excellent. But share the stream for me, please, and hit the like. All 4 of you. Shout out the plug, appreciate the support. Yes, hit that like button. But yeah, let's get straight into it. And we're gonna talk first of all about ARP. ARP, Mike P. I think there might be a bit of swamp in there. It's a lot. If you're not fully briefed, fully appraised of the latest developments, ARP did a very long, or not very long, did a very interesting blog yesterday on his podcast. Very interesting episode of his podcast. Sorry, it's true. Obviously, talked about the Max Out announcement, Max Out 3, all the excitement surrounding that. Talked about his bricks, talked about the intake class, and yeah, got to the politics. And there was something really interesting in this for me. There was something that really kind of just stood out for me. And it was something had gotten under ARP's skin. It really seemed to me like someone had gotten under his skin and not made him lose composure. composed throughout, but he kind of, we'll talk about it. Excuse me, sipping the tea. Sip your own, sip some water, sip some Henny. It's Henny o'clock somewhere. After he did the blog yesterday, Hip Hop is Real dropped another blog today, which was recorded it was the day after Smack's birthday, which will also, I think, forevermore be known as the day K-Shine and Smack got into it on the timeline. K-Shine, with the pay me my money, and Smack with the give us our battle or give us our money back type thing. Or no, K-Shine, let me go, and Smack pay me or fulfill your obligations. Now, he talked about that, and he kind of, ARP was very even-handed about it. He said, these are public situations, public figures. I can't say whether a battler or a league shouldn't speak publicly or address something. We all at times need to be called out. Sometimes it's public. But he addressed whether or not he would book Shine. And he says he would absolutely like to book Shine. And he really hopes that he gets back active soon. He wants to see him ASAP. But he doesn't know if he can legally book him. Obviously, URL and RBE are already in litigation. There's already ongoing lawsuit. And Shine and URL are currently having a prolonged contract dispute. So ARP says, I want no parts of that. And he says, if URL are right, and he does owe you money, he hasn't fulfilled his contract, he's been paid for something he hasn't done, why don't you let him eat elsewhere? Why don't you let him book other battles and then you get paid off the back end? It's like, so why don't you make another contract? This kind of made no sense to me unless you're pro K-Shine and anti URL, because that's just saying that's kind of that's relinquishing any bargaining power, any contract, anything that they've kind of invested in Shine. It's like saying, no, give that up, just write up another contract, and hopefully when he gets other bookings, he'll pay you. And again, assuming K-Shine will agree to this, K-Shine is screaming, I'm free. And he's not mixing with the devil. He's calling you URL the devil or Smack the devil. There are devils over there. I don't know who specifically, but I can't see URL ever agreeing to something like that, and I don't think it's in their best interest to. I think it's the sort of thing that sounds like it offers you a third alternative. Okay, so even if you are in the right, why don't you just let him? We really want to see K-Shine. You've got the power here. It's you who's stopping K-Shine from being able to battle elsewhere because of your contract. Just write another contract and get the money off his future back ends. And he also just advised everybody to speak to lawyers, speak to your lawyers. Now, he said he doesn't know the details of Shine's contract. If Shine was seeking an RBE booking, he would definitely seek to check that, to validate that contract situation. And he also said that he believes that platforms out here, leagues, will set you up. They will set battlers up, say, go and take that over there. And then when the battler does it, call out they have an issue with either the battler or the league, which I thought it's quite specific. It sounds like he's talking about something that's perhaps happened. Now, in his, I think he briefly addressed in this blog this morning, addressed Nun and Mike P and those guys who have said, who called out, URL, and now they're saying we can't battle over there type thing. Or them potentially not being able to battle over there. This is not what URL have said. And he's saying basically, anyone, if you are of a certain caliber and you are battling regularly on URL, they will book you. They will book you. They are always going to come back and book you no matter what the issue, because you make them money. He's saying RBE, we don't do that over here. If we got an issue with you, then we got an issue. Like, we're not booking you for a check. If we solve, if we can rectify issues, that's different. But we're not just, okay, we had issues, but come and get this money. And yeah, he went into, I think this was in both blogs, he went into very much battlers losing their leverage and burning their bridges. He was talking about, battlers basically riding hard, going all out for URL when URL would drop them, at the drop of a hat, so to speak. Or when it's basically not good for business, when it works for them, that you're being booked. When it's not, there's no love over here, it's just business. Now, he got very specific, and he was, again, and he seemed heated, like he seemed rattled. It seemed like whoever he was talking about definitely got under his skin, and he was talking a little out of character. I mean, ARP does talk like this sometimes, but he was talking about clowns who refer to, the other leagues or RBE as the ops. And he's saying, like, those guys need to get off their knee pads and they've been sucking too much dandelion. Now, dandelion is not what ARP said, but I'm trying to keep my YouTube clean for monetization purposes. I've also got the super chats now and stuff. So feel free, to bless my super chat, bless my cash app, whatever. This is, an option there for you, should you so choose. But he was talking about battle rappers sucking dandelion, like, and he seemed aggrieved by it, and he seemed like he was talking about a specific person, and it turns out somebody seems to think they fit the bill. Mike P says, I think I'm the dummy that ARP was talking about. And he said, what did he say? He said he felt it in his soul. When he watched ARP's blog, he felt it in his soul. And he addressed the situation with ARP. So RBE had mentioned, I think Chris Unbias had talked about Mike P in his blog, and ARP addressed Chris Unbias's blog. Mike P kind of connected the dots and was like, oh, me. I was talking about me. So he says his issues with ARP and his decision not to battle on RBE goes all the way back to 2016. Was it Daylight and Iron Solomon? Who was that battle? I took a bunch of notes here yesterday. That's boring. He was saying there was a battle that I think it was Daylight Iron Solomon, one that was issues with being booked. Daylight didn't do the battle for whatever reason. ARP and Mike took offense to the blog that ARP did after that, and he said from then basically I decided I wasn't gonna be booked there anymore. Now I need to know what this is now. And he also talked about his next battle. He talked about his next battle, again, kind of in the context of Unbiased's blog, who had said that the battle is going to shake the culture and could potentially be blocked, is likely to be blocked by URL. Now, Mike says that he hasn't been under contract with URL since 2000, what did he say, 2017 or something, or 2015 to 2017 was the only period that he was under contract. And he was saying ever since he was trying to get that contract back. The irony, because now he's saying he doesn't want that. He's not at URL because that relationship isn't serving him. He doesn't want to be at URL, and if he, that's why he's not there, basically. And I think he also said he thinks URL are waiting for him to make a move. So basically an announcement. I think ARP also sort of alluded to this, saying basically, talking about the leverage stuff, you guys are dissing the ops, you're coming on here, shitting on RBE, realizing that's your leverage. Look at Swamp. Swamp's likely to get booked now because he says, I want to battle in the blue room. He's saying they're going to now holler at hats at Swamp so that, to keep him off of an RBE card. Although that is what happened with the trenches, right? Although what they said would happen, it was all talk about, you're going to see Swamp on Summer Madness now. Will we? I don't know. But yeah, he said he's super excited for his next battle. It's a great opponent. If he's not on URL, he's not on RBE. Is it trenches? Is it Chrome 23? He's saying it's a battle that's possibly going to get blocked. We know there have been cease and desists involved with both Chrome 23 or allegedly there have been reports that URL have sent cease and desist letters to Chrome 23 and Easy, the block captain, over the trenches cards. So is that what he's talking about? He's saying it could be blocked. Where else could it be? They're not likely. URL wouldn't want to block. Would they want to block a King of the Dot battle, an battle, a battle on the Riot? I'm not so sure that the motivation is there, especially as Mike P says he's not under contract. He's free since 2015 to 17. He's had a battle he's had a one battle contract, and as soon as he walks off stage, his contract is done, and he's not contracted until he gets his next booking. And it was King Los, of course, King Los and Daylight. It was King Los and Daylight, the original battle back in, I think, 2016, he said. ARP also talked about potentially booking Tay-Rock. And he's saying, because he did say there are people who are on the never list, they will never battle on RBE. Tay-Rock isn't one of them. He feels like Tay-Rock hasn't completely ruled it out, although he acknowledges that Tay-Rock is very, very URL loyal. But he said Surf has negotiated with him about a rock battle twice. Surf talked about 5-on-5. His 5 against RBE's 5, with Rock being one of them, and also talked about a possible 2-on-2. So he's saying, yeah, I think there's not ruling it out, but he doesn't think it's likely. And, Tay-Rock is a company man through and through. He also talked about the Swamp battle and saying, he's got no problem with Swamp. And he basically was saying URL are moving shook and they're reactionary. He's saying like URL are too scared to kind of make the first move. ARP will book or not to make the first move. They want to steal ARP's thunder, but are scared to, they don't want to make the first move. They don't want to be outshined by ARP. So they're going to go before no, they're going to go after Max Out, wait for, you know, ARP to throw his big card and then come and kind of steal all his thunder, you know, do things on similar dates, all of that stuff. But he's saying, why, what was the reverse psychology bit? Sorry, like I said, I am all notes today. If I don't have notes, I'm not going to be able to talk because I've got no memory, and I'm surprised I'm being this coherent right now. But he said, yeah, RBE, RBE is basically, you know, they're nothing compared to our URL. Why are you scared to let us have Verb versus Swamp or Verb versus Rosenberg, right? And he's saying, if he was URL, they would book Swamp before he gets in there and books him versus Rosenberg in the blue room. But it seemed like he was kind of, oh, what's the word? It was kind of, it was a psych move. I can't think of the word. Why have I written down court? What was that say? Oh, court as in court of law. Yeah, he talked about somebody who he spoke to an attorney about. He didn't say who it was, but he said he's been speaking to an attorney and somebody's going to have to get a filing. He talked about something that was done that was unforgivable. Like he's saying it could have been rectified, but it never was, and that's kind of unforgivable. So he's had to speak to an attorney. I have no idea, none, who he's talking about there, but yeah, you'll be hearing from ARP's lawyers. I think that was kind of it was a insightful conversation, so go and check it out, and also his interview on Hip Hop Is Real. Yeah, this you know, it's the constant kind of discussion that goes on between the two camps. I think Mike P's next battle announcement will be quite interesting. We'll see how that goes. Moving on now, where are we going? I think we are going to, oh no, I have my little graphics and everything, and I didn't even show them to you. And my bad, I haven't been acknowledging the comments. It's always Henny o'clock. It is. Good morning, Donald E. Lockett. I'm not even sure if you're in here still. Damn, I'm late. It's Jennn o'clock. You're fine. Don't worry. ARP is in tune. Smack feels like he's out of touch. I don't know. Well, I mean, Smack broke character around his birthday, you know, with his kind of social media antics. So yeah, RBE is for the people, sure. I think there are different stages representing different statuses, and that, you know, I don't think you have to necessarily pick or compare or choose between the two. I think RBE are killing it at their Max Out announcement with two well, yeah, let's keep going. Let's get to that. In fact, we're getting to that right now. So Max Out 3, we've already, this was the second announcement. The first announcement, massive, mega, huge battle for RBE, huge battle for Mr. Max Out, Hitman Holla. Announced him against Ill Will, and now we have A Ward versus A Verb. Oh, that's interesting that it's not A Verb versus A Ward. And my goodness, this battle has been a long time in the works, or certainly has been talked. Well, I mean, let me say, no, Verb has dismissed this battle for the longest time. Let's say that. But the people want to see it, and Lord, they are selling the fight. They are selling the fight. No, it's cool, you know. And the fan supporters are gonna do what they want to do. And when it is so kind of when there is so much conflict, you almost feel sometimes obliged to pick a side. But yeah, we don't have to. We can have it all. We can be. Why can't you have your cake and eat it? Because I mean, What else would you have cake for? To just look pretty on the shelf. Why would you keep cake on a shelf? Well, you might actually, because cake shouldn't go in the fridge. Anyway, unless it's got fresh cream. Max Out 3 pay-per-view. The pre-sale pay-per-view stream has already surpassed some fully completed events, and we are 6 weeks away, ARP says. 6 weeks away, and our pre-sales have outsold actual streams. Crazy. I'm hearing that what often happens is, and this is pre-sale, prices will go up. The pay-per-view will go up. I think is it already? Is it $65 already? It will go up. So get your tickets ASAPington. Only 2 announcements, but it looks set to be a major card. The Max Out card is always a huge event. But yeah, so Verb and A Ward. So Verb has some allegations. He has some stuff to say about Ward. I caught a bit of a space. It's on Battle Rap Trap's channel now. Go and check it out. It's A Ward basically exposing. It's A Verb basically exposing poor Peggy Ward. I can't say poor Peggy Ward. Peggy Ward, A Ward's mother, who he says gets high. A Ward's mum gets high. He does not name her substance of choice or how he knows, but he says basically we're going to hear all about it. We're going to learn about it. He also says A Ward is not the greatest. Jesus doesn't F with you. They say he was bombing. He was bombing on A Ward, saying, they say my mama's a dyke. Well, your mama gets high in real life. Kick your feet up. I am coming to storm him. Whatever that means. He called him an imposter and an impersonator. He is an imposter and an impersonator, a fake Christian, a fraud. He's not from Kansas. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. And then he had this whole bit kind of explaining why Jesus doesn't love Ward. If Jesus loved you, how would he allow your mother to get high? How would he allow that to happen? Jesus don't fuck with you. Come on. Like, mama's out here getting high and you think you're covered by the blood of Christ. He was going in. He also got into him about his name, his Kimsey name, saying it's 2 girls' names put together. That's what Chaz was saying. Basically just going in. And he's saying he's going to ask him all about his mother's substance abuse issues during the battle. Which the thing is good to know to an extent that it's not all going to be announcing that A Ward is white. Although I'm being facetious, I think Verb would have a little bit more to say than that, even if it was 3 rounds of white boy. He's got a new name for him. Verb has the most adorable names. He called him Pink Pussy. I don't know why. Most of his nicknames have kind of been pertaining to his whiteness, or he just gets called white boy, but he's now given him the PP moniker. And the thing is, Verb was acting like saying, how do you let him get away with all this stuff? How do you, other than, Peggy getting high on whatever drug of choice, none of this is new information. I think A Ward is very open about the fact that he came from Tennessee and he's now living in Kansas. It's been talked about that his name is Kimsey. I think, in many a battle, his name has been referenced. And I think actually Bill Collector was on the spaces and saying, no, I called him that. I told him about his Kimsey self. He's not Aaron, he's Kimsey. But A Ward is like, breaking news. Well, not A Ward, sorry. A Verb. Now, Yeah, everything. I mean, is he a fake Christian? Maybe. Does his mum get high? Who knows? Maybe his mum smokes a little weed now and again. It's not the same as, smoking meth, perhaps, but well, how am I to know? If Verb has these personal angles, personal attacks, does it kind of strengthen his position? He's at home. He's in a place of confidence. He doesn't lose against St. Louis. He's battling this white boy Christian while he's, in his city where he's valid, he's validated, he's, respected. If he comes with some personals that he can perhaps sell, doesn't matter if they're true, right? Like he said, you know, my mum's a dyke. Why can't his mum get high? And he's saying she gets high in real life. But I think he can definitely sell some angles. He can make them land. He can get some reactions. But how many rebuttals? Buttles will A Ward have? He and even rebuttals aside, he still has to rap. So we'll see. I'm going with Ward on this one in terms of predictions. I haven't given a prediction. I think I'll wait for some more announcements to do that. But it's interesting to see what Verb is talking about. Now, I think Tony Bro was in the spaces. Shout out Tony Bro and Black Compass. He was saying A Ward's from Tennessee, but been in Kansas City for 20 years at age 20-ish. Is it okay for him to rep the Midwest? I don't know the rules of this type of stuff. Also, does it matter? Now, I think A Ward said he is 37 and he came to Kansas when he was 19. But he doesn't say. Yeah, he says, I've said this 1,000 times. I started my artist career in Kentucky. Casey is Kentucky, right? Oh, Kansas City. I've just said it how many times. I'm from Tennessee, but I pay homage to Kansas City as the following I've built through rap, spoken word, and battling for 18 years. I've never been a Tennessee rapper. And then he says Verb, he kind of calling out Verb St. Louis statuses because that's been one of Ward's kind of retaliation prompts historically. Verb tells him you battle here, there, and everywhere, and he's like, you don't even battle at home. I battle more in your backyard, St. Louis, than you do. So he's saying, yeah, he hasn't been to STL in so long. He just said here instead of her. He ain't been her. He says, I was born in New City, moved to Pagedale when I turned 3, moved to Elmwood at 15 and didn't leave STL till I was 35 or 6. I get seen in STL often. The only place I'm not at a regular basis is rap events. I never wait in line at clubs. No lies here. Your turn. And Verb also shared a clip saying, someone in the comment section of Ward's talk with Free Letterman said, Verb got Ward pissed and he's cussing. And a Verb takes to gloat saying, I've got a word cursing and his mama high and his hold on. What is it with the food, Verb? Sorry. Let me start again. I got a word cursing and his mama gets high. Salmon cakes and white rice, 2nd of September. Verb says, nah, I say shit and damn all the time. Ooh. Is that allowed? Is that okay? He says, I say that all the time. You ain't doing nothing. They ain't curses, just cuss words. I'll let you know when I curse you out. Okay, talk mayonnaise spicy, A-Will. What is it with Verb's pet food names? Why are they always food? Why is Verb always visualizing? Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe he sees them as food, not something he would eat, but literal food. That's a plate right there. That's food, and I'm gonna come and take it. So maybe that's it. Maybe. But yeah, battle heating up nicely. Like I've said, this is one I actually want to see. I think Verb builds some of these back and forths so much that you know, I want to see the outcome. You can't talk so heavy and then not follow through. Because if he wasn't worthy, then you shouldn't be talking about him extensively like that in the first place. So I like when it can get sorted out like this. Let's move on. Have I got shit for this? I need some new graphics. Let's move on to some news. So this is just little bits of news from all around the culture. We got some Brizz talk, some Hitman stuff. We're going to start with the ladies. Miss Hustle came out and says it's only one. I need a B word. It's only one. B, I know for sure that I want to come outside and I know she's not scared. A, somebody tells C3 I'm looking for her. Oof. Hustle versus C3. Now, who is scared? Now, obviously, the battle that everybody wants to see right now, the battle that makes so much sense this year is Jazz and Hustle. Hustle started the year on a tear. Jazz kind of had What's Jazz battle this year? Where are we? July. Help me out. Someone help me out. It's late. I'm tired. But with their current trajectories, they are being kind of seen as the two women at the top of the game, kind of, A side and B side. So yeah, that's one that it just seems to have been brewing. They've had some back and forth, but Hustle's now calling out C3. I love this battle. I think someone says, has this not happened? Let's carry on. So someone says the fact you haven't battled yet is crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Imagine that battle in the ring, though. Hustle says the big stage is where it should be. I could see it. In the ring, and I think Hustle definitely has the advantage on the stage. I think she's obviously been on bigger stages. She is she's a performer. She's a very animated performer. She has amazing stage presence, crowd control, all of the sort of attributes you need to to gain an advantage on that stage. Whereas I think C3 is probably more comfortable in a smaller room environment where her pen can really do the work. Those punches can really be felt, kind of, she doesn't need necessarily the big room reaction. I think Hustle's material is more suited to that. She's more bombing on you haymaker style. Not that C3 isn't punch heavy, just in terms of performance style. C3 obviously had a huge battle. She is the historic winner of the $25,000 Chrome 23 tournament. Could it be a battle that will happen on Chrome 23? Hustle, she tagged URL saying at URL, let's bring C3 to my playground. Does this suggest there's a lack of harmony maybe between, maybe not. Maybe Hustle's trying to get a big Summer Madness battle. I think this would be a big battle. C3's stock isn't up there where Jazz's is, say, on URL, maybe some of the other ladies. However, it should be. It really should be. C3 should be getting major looks, major plays. And she has a stunning resume, but she hasn't necessarily got the wider respect or renown that some of her peers have. And I think this could be one that could really solidify her status, especially off of the back of winning the tournament. But it's interesting if it's not a battle that takes place on URL, surely that's one that Remy would snap up. Remy and Hustle, good friends. Hustle is pretty much the face, has been the face of, well, I guess does it have a male face now? That's wild. No, Hustle is the face of Chrome's, or has been historically the face, the tournament champ. It makes a lot of sense, right? So yeah, I'd like to see that one this year, regardless. I think, yeah, Chrome 23 or URL. I'd love it to be a Summer Madness battle. We need some women on that card. We need the ladies on that card. So, yeah, that's one I'm hoping to see. C3 responds so sweetly. She's such a sweetheart. She's lovely. And says, look no further, friend. I'm here. I'm here. The heart face. And then she says, call me when, in response to URL, it's time. I want to see it. I hope we see it. I think it's one that people want to see. Get more action on that like button. Absolutely. Like, smash it, slam it, hit it, whatever you want to do. Just like go and tenderly caress it if that's your bag. But yeah, help push me up in the algorithms. I'm really, really trying to, maintain my consistency and get my numbers up, get properly monetized, and really, I put a lot of effort into these shows when I'm generally exhausted. Like I should have been in bed maybe an hour ago. It's only early evening over here, but I work nights, so yeah, my time is always, and I can't not do the show without putting this effort, scouring the news, trying to, be abreast of all the developments so that I'm informing you correctly. Goodness, those kids, what are kids doing outside? God, playing like they've got a right to enjoy life. How dare they? I'm streaming. This is YouTube, baby. Clearly I'm delirious, excuse me. So yes, hit the like, share the stream, all of that. And pull up. This is a regular thing now. I can't necessarily guarantee a time. I can guarantee we'll always be at Jennn o'clock. Just can't necessarily tell you when that will be. Next up, Free the Wave. Shout out to little TJ, who was listening to Surf on his Instagram story, called Surf the Goat, tagged him and said, free you. Little TJ, obviously, is he from Bronx? He's a NYC rapper, been in the headlines recently for getting arrested. Basically, police have been all over him after his shooting last year. He made a remarkable comeback, incredible. He's got documented on one of his first videos after that. But yeah, he's a super Surf fan, and what was he playing? I've forgotten already. I didn't write it down. But yeah, gave a shout out to Surf. More shout outs came from Benny the Butcher, who as the caption says, ad libs hip hop is real into his live performance. That I do remember. I think that was that Plugs I Met. I think he was in the middle of his Plugs I Met performance. So shout out Benny the Butcher. Brizz Rawstein. I missed whatever Verb said, did, whatever sorcery, magic, whatever he did to lure Brizz out the cave is working. He's saying, not gonna lie, Verb makes me want to battle. He makes me want to battle. I don't have to. Oh, I do have it. And Hip Hop is Real put up a poll saying, if Brizz returns, who should be his first battle back? Now, when I looked at this earlier, I think it was 80% saying Mook. A-Ward says, yeah, Verb is definitely great at what he does. Brizz says, yeah, Bull is a psychopath. That's the real him. That's what's crazy. Another fan says, Blue Room Brizz would go crazy. He's saying, Brizz is saying, yeah, I kind of like that. I like the sound of that Blue Room. Will we see Brizz make an RBE comeback? As for Mook don't want that battle no more unless they double the pay. And Brizz says he's not a worthy enough athlete to pick and choose his opponents. And it's no bigger, I think he means admission of fear than raising the price. So he's basically saying he don't get to just choose. Like he's not active, he's not athletic like that. He doesn't have that clout, basically. Murder Mook doesn't have the clout. And he's saying, but he's trying to price him out. He's scared. That's classic avoidance tactic, or what do you call it? You might as well admit he's scared because he's saying, yeah, double the pay, knowing that they won't double the pay. Will we see it? I'll get, it was nice to see that and to see some excitement, but I'll get really kind of, although thinking about it, Brizz does seem to be maybe in the last 8 months, 6 months to a year, something like that, coming closer and closer and closer back into the fold. So maybe it is time. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Next up, Hitman Holler says, you know what? Battling me is a pretty big deal. Put it like this. What battle rapper got ill will to tweet like this, acting all excited for a rap battle? That's right. You guessed it. Little old, big old me, Hitman Holler. And he says, battle rap is a mess. It's embarrassing. This is so bad for the culture. It's dead. It's dying. Can we get back to battle raps, please? I'm begging the culture. Now everybody is so happy. That was fast. What happened? So he's basically saying that was the voice of the culture saying, ooh, this is nasty. What's going on? It's dying. Stop the drama. Can we get back to the battles? And he's saying, now everyone's happy. What happened? Oh, Ill Will versus Hitman Holler, September 2nd. That's not the tweet that I intended to bring up, so I'm all over. He says that the last time I felt people seriously doubted me and my career was on the line was in December 2010. So he's feeling like people are doubting him. Obviously, he had the Chrome 23 battle earlier on this year with Easy. The consensus is pretty clear. It's a pretty clear win for Easy, although there are some obviously who give it to Hitman. It's a debatable sport. Then he says, battle rap has been on my back since 2010 and I get zero credit. No one's bringing more to the table than me with the numbers to match. It's cool though. September 2nd. Now, yeah, it seems like Holler's feeling a little underappreciated, a little undervalued, like people are underestimating his abilities and everything that he's done. I feel like that's a very scary place. I think I saw DNA saying, boy, this Hitman we're going to get. Look out. Be prepared. He gave us fair warning. Coming back off a loss on his max out card. He's made, he's dominated the max out cards. How is this going to go? Ill Will, Mr. RBE, that's his home. He's comfortable in that blue room. And it's max out, max out blue room. Ooh, max out blue room. We just saw, Ill Will and Hollow go crazy in that blue room. Maybe we'll get out with it not being big stage, right? We're not going to get, I feel like we're going to get a battle, a Hitman more like, say, the Bill Collector Hitman, where he's more rapping. It's far less antics, or not antics, but performance elements he hasn't got a stage. He's got to talk to this man. There was a storyline there. Obviously, I don't think it's the same. It's not the same for Will. Bill and Hitman have had a long-ish history with, you know, one overwhelming issue to address. So it's a completely different battle. But Hitman feels aggrieved. I always say going into a battle with a chip on your shoulder can be precious motivation. It really can be. Make you feel hard done by, where you feel, you know what, I'm going to take my respect. I'm sorry, William, but it's you I'm going to take that out on. So yes, I cannot wait to see it. So yeah, he was feeling underappreciated, undervalued, etc., etc. Chance the Rapper came out and said, oh no, this is what I wanted to do. Yes, here we go. Ace Amin came out to give Hitman his flowers in, of course, what is a controversial tweet. You can't give someone certain statuses without it being debated and disputed and argued about. Hitman Holler, in terms of relevance, impact, career length, views, sales, crossover appeal, ability, and giving back, both financially and with opportunities, is the Jay-Z, the Hove of battle rap. Boy, that is hefty praise. That is hefty praise. Lots of people, not lots of people, lots of people in agreement. There are a few people suggesting maybe some other names, but it's very hard to disagree with what he's saying. Somebody did disagree and said, gave an argument for Mook. Ace says, I'm not debating with you. Career games, classic, trends, current relevance, consistency. Mook has had more bad big stage performances than good. He lost to Big K, was horrible versus Reed in two of the worst 2-on-2s ever. Oh my God, that 2-on-2 with Calico was so bad. Oh, and then the has put no money in any up and coming battlers. This tweet was deleted. So I guess the author of the tweet no longer stood on that. But yes, that's where we go. Still on Hitman, Sue Surf versus Hitman Holler is 500,000 views away from being the first diamond battle on the URL channel, currently sitting at 10 million. Incredible. Once again, we say free to wave. My goodness, we miss Sue Surf right now, man. The amount of times I've seen that in the past. Obviously, we miss Sue Surf, but recently, sorry for the shaking. Recently, I think when battle rap is in a state, Surf is one of those saviors, or that people look to as a savior, or as a, if Surf was here. So yeah, free to wave, and go and watch Hitman Holler versus Sue Surf. Let's get them to the diamond battle that they deserve. Absolute classic. 6 rounds of intense back and forth. It's a thrill ride. I remember watching that early in my battle rap rabbit hole journey and just being like captivated, like, holy hell, what is this? I love it. Oh my God. So yeah, run up those views, let's get them there. Diamond battle. Let's pivot back to Ace Amin now. We talked briefly about his exchange with Rum Nitty. They have been promoting. Ace is seeking a battle with Rum Nitty, or it's been, I think, did Rum first say, yeah, I'd battle Ace or something, there was a ton of backlash. And Ace is basically on one of his campaigns. Ace goes on campaigns. He's often very, very successful with them. He's launched a fresh one. It's no chokes, no stumbles, or no stumbles, no chokes. And he's basically, in training right now, with the hopes that maybe he may be worthy should Ramniti decide respectfully that he wants to step down from his lofty pedestal and, battle Ace Amin. And the promo has been elite. Go on their socials. If you're not caught up, go on their socials and have a look at the Instagram videos. I think they're 2 rounds in. Absolutely hilarious. And gold, like a real great example of how to promo. Now, Ace had a space yesterday. It's all fake, where he bombed on Ramniti. He bombed on Ramniti. Bad, but with praise. He spazzed out on him in the way that you would in a normal battle, but just said really nice things about him. He's a great father. He's an alien. It was absolutely hilarious. Elite promo. I'd love to see this battle. Can we please make that happen? Summer Madness. Yes. I think it's time. I want to see it. If we can get a clean 3 rounds from Ace, man, this would be an intense battle. Ace has been, he still has that question surrounding him, right? But I think in recent showings, he's definitely been more focused. He's been far less sloppy. Obviously, he has a very intricate way of rapping, intricate rhyme patterns, internal rhyming, very complicated multi-syllabic rhymes and different, switches in and out of flows and stuff. If one little syllable is out of kilter, the whole thing falls down. So I think, that memorization process for him and that delivery is sometimes slightly different than somebody who has a less intricate way of rhyming. I want to see it. Next up, or last, but by no means least, we started with a lady. I'm going to finish with a lady. I'm going to give her some props first of all as well. She is, let's do this first. International main event mommy Coffee Brown shared the Breakthrough 2 flyer earlier on today. She is going over to Canada to take on Grid in a card that includes Joey Gambello, Emerson Kennedy, Pepe, Prez Mafia, Pathogenic, lots of names that you will be familiar with on there. In Toronto, she's going to Toronto. Shout out Coffee, main event, another main event, international main event, mommy. She also was booked over here in London. I mean, they screwed her over completely, the league that booked her. But she was, international battle in the UK, main event. I'm glad she's got another one in Canada. Would love to see Coffee back in the UK. But yeah, congrats on that. Obviously, also got the Gotti battle coming up on the Riot. Oh my Lord, I cannot wait for that. Talk about, a battle with a storyline, some history, a grudge, some questions to answer. There was love, there was hate, there was rumors, there was fighting. Yeah. Oof. That's going to be one for the ages. If you think T-Top Coffee Brown was crazy, like this should surpass that, right? In terms of the conversation that they can have. It should like high hopes, like I said. But yes, I think that is all for today. We're going to wrap up at exactly the hour mark. These shows are intended to be about an hour. So yes, thank you everyone who tuned in today. Hit that like on your way out, share the stream, subscribe if you're watching later. If you're watching, catching up, watching this, not live, I don't know the thing to say that's not live. If you're watching this later and you're still here, first of all, thank you. Like, I so appreciate you. Hit that like, share, hit subscribe, and come join me, you know, for hopefully daily Jennn O'Clock news updates to get your daily, hopefully, fix of all things battle rap and more. But for now, I am out. Have a wonderful rest of the day and take care.